Perfect. One.
All right.
Thank
Do
you.
you want?
No,
do
it's
you want
okay.
me to
I got it. All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much. So welcome to the AI Design Jam brought to you by UXSA. Today, I'll be one of your main facilitators along with Susan Price, Sherry, and Bob. Sherry already gave everyone a quick intro about me, just to give you a little more context, I guess, about who I am. I discovered UX in 2020 when I was attending a local community college. I at first thought I wanted to be a developer. I went through a full stack web development bootcamp and quickly learned that that was not what I wanted to do at all. I did not want to cry over a semicolon for the rest of my life. So I decided, and one of the TAs reached out to me and told me about UX. I just so happened to know Sherry personally outside of UXSA and got involved around 2020. And ever since then, Sherry and UXSA has not only been supportive, but they've championed me in my growth. So it's a great community, and I definitely suggest getting involved in any way you can, because it will help you crack into UX. I went from being a customer service representative, miserable on the phones, and I was able to get hired at both Amazon and PayPal with the help of UXSA and my education. Okay, so before we get started, we just want to make sure that everyone has signed up for OpenAI. Today, we will just be going over ChatGPT and DALL-E. Has everyone had the chance to sign up for OpenAI? If not, raise your hand so I know to give time for that.
Viviana, I just shared the Miro link too, the new Miro link.
Perfect.
If you have not yet signed up, you can go into the Miro and then click the open link that you're seeing there.
Well, that's a screenshot, so I can send.
Okay, sorry.
Send it in the chat really quickly. I was like, you've gotta love.
Adrian just shared it.
Thank you.
Oh, OpenAI.
Everyone should be able to come here and log in. Okay. Let's get back over here. All right. So the agenda for today is a brief overview of ChatGPT and DALL-E. I'll walk you through an example case where AI was used to solve a design problem. Then we'll go into breakout rooms, do some icebreakers. Once we're all warmed up with each other, we'll start our AI exercises, and we'll end with a share out and share what we've learned. Some do's and don'ts with ChatGPT and DALL-E. Do use public information. Don't disclose private information such as an unpublished company intellectual property or your identifiable information. You don't want to be plugging in like your address, your phone numbers, emails, addresses, or any company secrets that haven't been published yet. You do want to leverage prompt engineering. What prompt engineering is it's a learned skill and is the description of a task embedded in user input, like asking a question rather than it being explicitly given. I'll give more examples of this later. Also, don't believe everything ChatGPT says. ChatGPT tends to hallucinate and can pull information that isn't accurate. Always verify. Remember, you are the expert. Lastly, before utilizing AI, always verify your company's AI usage guidelines. All right, and move on to here. So what exactly is AI? This is a loaded question as different people have different definitions. Some examples are self-driving cars, content recommendations like TikTok's algorithm or Spotify's music recommendations, or also image and video processing like face recognition. Think Face ID on Apple's iOS. So rather than define what AI is or isn't, it's easier to list characteristics like autonomy and adaptivity. Autonomy is the ability to perform tasks in complex environments without constant guidance by a user. And adaptivity is the ability to improve performance by learning from that experience. If you'd like a deeper dive in what exactly AI is compared to this workshop, I've provided a link to Elements of AI. It's a free course with a wealth of information. I am not affiliated with it. Again, this is a screenshot, so I can send it in the chat.
I put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
I'll try to keep up with you and do that for you so you can keep rolling.
Thank you. So now for the big question that I'm sure everyone has seen on LinkedIn is, will AI replace us as designers? My short answer is no, but a person using AI will. Here are a couple of reasons why AI can't replace us. It can't figure out what problems to solve yet. Only you know your problem space and all of the context that the user is in. So what you feed the AI is what you're going to get back, and it only knows what it knows. Design solutions require multidisciplinary efforts, meaning it can't do all the research, the content, all of that. And again, as I stated, AI tends to hallucinate. It could be pulling on incorrect information. It could be pulling on old information that's already been disproven. So it is our job to make sure that is correct. Also, most importantly, AI lacks empathy and good understanding of human psychology. Also, creativity. AI can't meet with a person and speak to them face to face like we can with real users. This again goes back to understanding the context of the user, having like face-to-face interviews basically, and pulling that information. And also it still needs a lot of guidance and has trouble understanding context. You will see when we get to play around with DALL-E exactly what I mean about it needs a little context and a lot of help understanding still. Now, to get into about OpenAI, oh my gosh, my thing is freaking out. Okay. So OpenAI is an AI research lab and company founded in 2015. Its mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. OpenAI has made significant contributions to AI, including the development of language models like GPT-3. It also follows principles such as safety, cooperation, and broad distribution of benefits. OpenAI has involved its governance structure and continues to advance AI through partnerships and innovations. Our first product, ChatGPT, is an AI language model developed by OpenAI. It is designed to engage in conversational interactions and provide responses based on the input it receives. Some of ChatGPT's capabilities are understanding and generating human-like text in response to prompts or questions. It can provide information, explanations, creative ideas, suggestions, and engage in general conversation. ChatGPT has been trained on a wide range of topics so it can discuss various subjects. Some limitations: ChatGPT may sometimes produce incorrect or nonsensical answers. It doesn't have real-time access to current information, so it may not be up to date. It can be sensitive to the phrasing of the input, and slight changes in the question can lead to different responses. ChatGPT may generate plausible sounding but fictional or speculative answers. I actually had a conversation with a coworker where their husband is a lawyer, and they asked ChatGPT about a case and to come up with the solution. And while it had all of the sound reasoning behind it, it still provided the wrong answer at the end. So it may say the right thing, but it still cannot connect the two dots. Again, this is why we are the experts. We still need to know our business space. Also, it can be verbose and may overuse certain phrases or provide excessively long responses, which, yes, I agree. It's essential to use ChatGPT's responses critically and verify information from reliable sources. While it aims to be helpful, it's not foolproof, and its responses should be interpreted with caution. I will also say that that is from ChatGPT exactly. I asked them to describe its limitations and its capabilities, so they are aware of their own faults. And moving on. Let's see if I can move. DALL-E is an AI model developed by OpenAI that specializes in generating images from textual descriptions. DALL-E's capabilities are generating high quality and original images based on textual prompts or descriptions. It can create images of objects, scenes, and abstract concepts that don't necessarily exist in the real world. DALL-E has the ability to combine different objects or concepts creatively, producing novel visual compositions. Some limitations of DALL-E is that their image generation is based solely on textual descriptions, so it may not perfectly match the exact details or expectations conveyed in the prompt. It may struggle with understanding complex or ambiguous descriptions and could produce images that differ from what a human might envision. Generating images with DALL-E can be computationally intensive and time-consuming. Also, the data set used to train DALL-E has certain limitations and biases which can influence the type of images it generates. So really quick, I will go into ChatGPT and we'll just look at some of the stuff that I have here. I have way too many browsers open. So write me a poem. Let's see. Or I can even show the rest of it. Whoa. And we can see what it comes up with. So it came up with something beautiful, I'm sure. I'm not going to read through all of it. But we can also look into how it can help me as a product designer at PayPal. I needed to present a narrative to my greeter UX team. I had never really done a narrative before as a brand new UX designer, so I wanted to know what I should include in there. So I asked it, I told it, you're a product designer at PayPal, you need to present your narrative. What should a narrative include? It gave me user context, start by setting the stage and providing a clear understanding of users' context, describe who the users are, their motivation, needs, and pain points, paint a vivid picture. We reiterate the problem statement to our team, the vision and goals, the user journey to walk through, highlighting the pain points and opportunities to improvement. It made sure to tell us about the storytelling techniques to make the journey engaging. We wanted to share our guiding design principles that should reflect the core values of PayPal. The solution concept, which would include the high-level concepts for the proposed solution, user benefits, highlight the benefits and value that the proposed solution brings to the users. We would then discuss the feasibility and viability that's where I would have discussed with our tech team to make sure that everything else that we just discussed is actually doable. Collaboration and next steps, and then a call to action. And it ends by incorporating these elements into your narrative. You can effectively communicate the problem, solution, and rationale behind your design decisions. And there you have a great narrative. I actually did use this, and I did change some things because I only have like 30 minutes in our design reviews at work to actually go through and do a narrative. But this was helpful for me in presenting to my overall design team to kind of give you a little boost. I still have to create the narrative myself. I still have to know what to include in the narrative, but it helped. And with DALL-E is fun. So let's do a cowboy cat enjoying the sunset. A cowboy cat enjoying the sunset. Let's see. It's taking a long time, and it might be, see, you can get little happy cat guys just with their little cowboy hat. But I really wish I could just copy and paste this. Let's see. And from what I've learned with DALL-E is the longer the description, the better. So let's see, a calico cat wearing a brown leather cowboy hat, staring at the sunset, big eyes with twinkles, warm emotions and happiness with dynamic horizon and solar flares. So you see, the more you describe to it, the better the, oh, and look, he's a little scary right there, but this is exactly why DALL-E has its limitation. But yes, I did include some additional resources. These are not links. I don't know if Susan was able to share them after all. And to Research AI, Smart One, Writer, Copy AI, Brain Pool. Research AI helps you pull insights from your data set. Smart One is, I think that one was user journeys. Writer and Copy AI is copy or content. Brain Pool is user flows, and Otter AI is really cool. This is the only one I have personally used myself out of all of these. You can take your recorded user interviews and upload it, and it will transcribe it for you. And it even highlights key insights that may sound important. They're not always right, which again is why AI is still in its limited state. Awesome. So now I will move on to an example walkthrough. So the instructions
Viviana, I'm so sorry. I just want to take a minute before we do the instructions and we'll dive in. Does anybody have any questions or concerns that you want to? I know Viviana's trying to get through this really quickly so we can practice, but is anybody lost or need?
Yeah, I have a very quick question.
Okay.
So I wonder, like, when you are showing like the one you tying the prompt in the ChatGPT, and it give you like a whole scenario, like about like what is the user pain point or something like that. So I wonder, like, when you are presenting to your design team, will you mention about this is the one from the ChatGPT, or how is it acceptable, like in the industry so far? It is okay to using that like as a resource or something like that?
I would say, again, make sure you're checking your company's AI usage guidelines. And because you're not wanting to input company information into ChatGPT, it's probably not going to provide you accurate things. So I wouldn't rely on it for answers. I would use it as a tool to help you get to that answer. So yes, you can disclose to your coworkers that, hey, like I utilized ChatGPT to help me with the flow, but that's not going to really be a good reason to like defend your design decision. There should be some data besides ChatGPT that's backing that up. I don't know if the other co-facilitators agree or what you would think as far as that, but from my experience, you can say like, hey, like I utilize ChatGPT for this, but you know, your employer should also have like research to go off of, or you should also be aware of like industry standards.
And I would add being really aware of ownership. So it's a good prompt to your own thinking, but I don't think it's an endpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I think of it as an aid that's expanding, but everything it creates, you have to be suspect of the provenance and the copyright ownership.
Mhm.
So use with caution, but I think our purpose today is to just dive in and start learning about it, because
Mhm.
these issues are hotly debated, and they're hopefully being worked out. But in the meantime, we need to not get behind with this stuff. So I'm really happy that you've provided us an opportunity to practice together, Viviana.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious if who here has already kind of played around with AI, or maybe you already incorporate it in your design process. If you could raise your hand with the Zoom tool so I can see.
We asked that in chat a minute ago.
Oh, I did not
And
see
some of the folks did, because you're focused, and that's good.
that.
But you guys chime in with your experience.
Perfect.
Ruby has.
Nice.
Kira has. Kira mentioned, what was the thing that you mentioned, Kira? Paint, what was it? Out painting.
Awesome. Oh yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, let me go through
Okay,
this.
thanks for that pause. It's just a lot of information.
Sorry. Well, we're getting into the fun part now. So y'all don't have to listen to me talking anymore. So, well, just for a few more minutes. So some instructions for the next, what y'all will be doing soon. We're going to play with each tool, ChatGPT, and unfortunately, DALL-E is a paid program. So in each breakout room, the facilitators will have to insert the prompts, but I would really like everyone to put in the prompts themselves or come up with the prompts themselves, and we'll just have the facilitators feed that. We'll practice engineering our prompts. You'll notice how your results change as you rephrase your prompt. Do you notice any errors or hallucinations? And we can discuss how this can help or hinder a user. We're going to brainstorm different possibilities for how these tools can impact your prompt and theme in your problem area. You will choose a person or two to be a scribe, and this person will be the one typing the prompts into the system. And we will create a slide to share out to express your top 1 to 3 choices, and you will also choose a presenter for share out. I'm going to take a quick pause. So the example I'll be walking you through is design solutions on ChatGPT and/or DALL-E that could aid in preventing bananas from going brown. So keep this process in mind when you are doing your exercises. So first, we really want to understand what exactly causes bananas to go brown, right? As designers, we're trying to discover the why. So yes, bananas turn brown due to a process known as enzymatic browning. It's a chemical reaction that happens when certain enzymes in the banana react with the oxygen in the air. It's going to use a lot of big words that I can't exactly say, like bananas, like many fruits contain phenolic compounds and enzymes such as polyphenol. I don't know if I said that right. Oxidase or PPO, when the fruit is unripe, these enzymes are held separately in the cells, blah, 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 right? Well, we then tell ChatGPT, well, break it down into bullet points and explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. So sure, ChatGPT says, let's simplify it. Bananas have special stuff inside them called phenolic compounds and enzymes. They're like tiny workers in the banana. And when a banana is still green and hard, these workers are in separate rooms or cells. As the banana gets older, ripens, or if it gets a boo-boo, like a bruise, the cell walls between the rooms break down. It continues to tell us the different stages of what causes the banana to go brown. So we asked ChatGPT, how can I stop it from getting boo-boos? Good question. Here's how you can keep your bananas from getting boo-boos or bruises. One, you handle them gently because they bruise easily. Bringing them home from the grocery store, make sure they don't get squished or bumped too much. You store them correctly. Don't put other heavy fruits or items on top of bananas. It can damage them. Hang them up if you can. Hang your bananas from a banana hanger. It keeps them from resting against anything that can bruise them. Also, keep bananas separate because they are a little antisocial. They release a gas called ethylene that can make other fruits ripen faster too. Keeping them separate can help them and help your other fruits stay fresh longer. And temperature matters. We want a room temperature place. They don't belong in the cold, so keep them out of the fridge. So we asked ChatGPT, how can I combine all of these into one super product? So creating a super product to keep bananas fresh and free from boo-boos could be an interesting project. And it came up with a banana care kit, either a banana hammock or hanger. The main feature would be a banana holder that hangs the bananas up in the air, preventing them from touching anything that might bruise them. A separate storage compartment attached to the banana hanger could be a small separate storage compartment for a basket for other fruits, keeping them separated from the bananas. We'll implement a mechanism to maintain the optimal temperature for bananas, keeping them at room temperature. This could be as simple as insulation material around the storage area. Also, an ethylene absorber, so a small replaceable absorbent packet that absorbs ethylene gas. This would be placed in the storage compartment and would slow the ripening process. Also, a gentle transportation bag. So you would want to market this in a fun and appealing way. Now we can ask ChatGPT directly to write up a prompt for DALL-E portraying this super product. You'll see here that they created a really long description for you to copy and paste into DALL-E. So to create an illustration of a banana care kit, this innovative product is designed to keep bananas fresh and free from bruises. It says that the main feature of the product is a cheerful, bright yellow banana hammock or hanger, holding a bunch of perfect bananas in the air. Attached to the hanger, there's a separate storage compartment or basket for other fruits. Colored in a calming green shade around the storage area, there's an insulating layer represented by light blue lines, symbolizing coolness to maintain optimal room temperature for the bananas. There's also a small replaceable absorbent packet that absorbs ethylene gas, illustrated as a tiny white pouch with airwaves coming out from the bananas and getting absorbed into it. So I won't read all of that because that is long-winded, but we decided that we wanted it to be more womb-like, being protected in the womb. So sure, we can adjust the concept to create a more nurturing womb-like environment for the bananas. Here's a modified prompt for DALL-E. In this example, we did do it for Midjourney. We're not going over Midjourney because I think you have to use that through Discord only. And that is messy. And also another paid feature. So here is kind of what comes up. So as you can see, this really cool banana hammock, this was the description that was fed to it. As you see, it didn't follow it exactly. It's not hung up. The bananas aren't perfect. You can also imagine a plastic womb-like banana holder, super safe and high-end in the cinematic style of Wes Anderson, as one should. And this next one is the same thing. I think this is the one that we decided on. And another way to look at it is make it brutalist. So here's in the style of like brutalism instead. And yes, that is how we came up with our solution. Anyone have any questions before we move on? No.
Not seeing any questions.
Perfect. So we can probably move to our breakout rooms and start the icebreakers.
Drunk.
DALL-E is on drugs. That's all I have to say.
I feel like I want to go try again. It didn't give me what I asked for.
Oh man,
Wasn't even close.
it could not do letters.
Oh,
You-
yeah,
UXSA
no, it comes up with
just
random stuff.
Through it.
Well, this was a good introduction, I think, because I think it's proving why humans are better at this stuff.
That's what I mentioned. I said, so this makes us realize that none of us are losing our jobs.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Hopefully y'all realize that. but that is just a tool you can use to kind of kickstart the process.
Yeah.
But yes, I'll
And
let,
as you said before, check with your policies. We were told not to put any of our information in there
Mhm,
in AI tools at all.
mhm.
So you can only speak in general terms or something.
Mhm. Okay. Who is room number 1 that did the user persona?
That was Susan.
That's Susan and Ruby and Lee, and we lost one person.
John. Yeah, John left.
Okay, well, if we want to go over room 1 can present, did y'all come up with someone to present?
No, Ruby, you want to go for it? If you don't, that's okay.
Am I just sharing what I thought about it, or?
Yeah, just let's start at the top, right? Are we going prompt by prompt, or what are we doing?
Yeah, just kind of what y'all used to get the results and what you thought of the results.
Okay, which one are you on the thing? It's the one with the unicorns?
No, well, go up to the top prompt and click on Ruby or follow Ruby.
Okay.
So what I did notice, and I think just put in exactly what was very generic, that's exactly what I got. And what I did learn later on, that the more you add to it, you get different results. But this is what I got, which was name was Sarah Johnson, and it gave me the occupation, her background, her personality, and her interests, her goals and motivations and challenges. And if you look at Susan, she gave him more information. She put more information, so she was able to get a little bit more, I think. Let me see. Yeah,
They're pretty similar, actually.
But it gave you an age, more background on it too.
Y'all seeing what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, should I share my
Because
screen?
Susan put, as a UX practitioner designer, create 2 to 3 user personas for members of UXSA. So she wrote all that out, and you did the same kind of thing, but she just said it in a different line.
What I'd heard that in another webinar that I attended is that it's useful to give it a point of view to take. And so that's what made me say, as a fill in the blank UX practitioner designer, or like in the example that Viviana used, is like, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old. I just love that, dumb it down. I love that stuff.
I'm not a microbiologist.
I know, the first one was so full of jargon. Do you want to have other folks read out on this same prompt?
No, if y'all are done sharing, that's fine. Were y'all able to come up with the mascot?
I put it all the way at the bottom.
Oh, let's see. Let's go over that too.
So first, I asked for it to do a user experience practitioner mascot that is a cross between a sloth and a unicorn.
Yeah.
But it overcorrected for unicorn, I think.
Oh, it's like this guy right here is a little scary.
He's creepy. That's right. And then I tried again with just sloth, with a computer user who is a sloth.
Oh, great.
I don't know why this weird wording. It was
That's
trying
like-
to give it names.
Yeah.
The one on the left one looks scary.
This one's kind of scary too. I'm like,
It looks more like what is it, the thing that's in Madagascar?
oh yeah,
A lemur. It looks more like a lemur, that one.
this
But
one.
hey,
on the
you got
very
it with a
left,
laptop and a keyboard. Look at that. Or is that a
Yeah.
keyboard? I think that's a keyboard.
Love it. Okay, and so we can move on to room 2. Who wants to present from room 2? Anybody?
Oh, wow. Yep. Those Dalmatians look great. At a distance. Who knows when you
It
zoom
is
in.
not what we were describing though. We were trying to get it to make the spots, the color, like Lisa Frank, and it did not understand at all.
Do you want to present, Katie?
I can, sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so we did the user flow for discovering the new events. And we actually we basically started out giving it something general, and then over time we kept asking it questions and kept asking it. The first one was so long and had so many words, we told it to simplify it to stick on a sticky note. And then we asked it to simplify it again, and then we asked it to make it specific. So I think what worked best was getting it to narrow its field constantly. Like it started out really, really wide and just constantly narrowing it down, specifying it. And so it came up with the user flow, and we asked it to add in the entry and exit points and specific screens, and it did that. So it was useful, but definitely needed some coaching.
Yeah.
And then for the mascot, this is what we ended up sticking in. Generate an image of a mascot named Digi for the San Antonio UX professionals. The mascot should be a Dalmatian with a playful and energetic demeanor, fur adorned with bright, vivid colors to symbolize the dynamic nature of the UX field. It went like in a massive amount of detail, but this is what we got ChatGPT to write for us.
Oh, right.
And we plugged it in, and this is what it gave us. This set right here. What is it? The second one down is what
Yeah,
it gave
that's
us
the
the
first
first time. And we were like, okay, how did you miss the color part? So we tried to make it do Lisa Frank, and it gave us kind of the third one from the bottom. And then it really couldn't get what we were asking it to do. It gave us a Dalmatian.
Those are some really cool pictures of Dalmatian.
Yeah.
I was
Like this
is
one's on
cute.
acid right here. Look at that.
And then this one, for some reason, when we asked it to do Lisa Frank, it just gave them all heart glasses.
Yeah. So we found it interesting because we asked it to make it like a cartoon, and this was as cartoony as it got, which to me is still not very cartoony. It didn't recognize like the Lisa Frank style. So yeah, we're gonna keep our jobs, but at least it helps us know.
I mean, it made this one drunk.
Yeah, it
How
did.
Did you add any like Lisa Frank styles or anything? Like maybe if you gave it that, I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
did.
gave
We specified Lisa Frank, and it didn't know who Lisa Frank was. Apparently, I even threw in like the 90s Lisa Frank, and this would not be on a folder for Lisa Frank, unfortunately. But this guy is pretty cute right here. But yeah. And this was kind of like the longer version of the user flow it gave. And the room was able to get it down to here. We even had it talk about the unhappy paths, which was a good a good thing to see.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Negative use cases. Yeah.
All right. And we can move on to the next room. Thank you, Kate. Who is this one? Is this you, Bob?
Yeah, is that us? Okay. So the sorry, I gotta try to zoom in here while I'm trying to paste at the same time. Oh, wrong program. I'm back. Thank you. I was zooming into DALL-E there. So we asked it user journey map become a UX professional. I think it did pretty good. Awareness and discovery, all this that it spat out. You know, we were pretty satisfied. And so we jumped to DALL-E, and I was trying to put in, let's see if it'll paste it, because the end result that we shared there is really a cheat. Yeah, but I wanted to share. This is the several attempts. We said a mascot for the organization UXSA in San Antonio, and use a coyote. And some of these first ones were like, what is the what language are you using here? And there, if you look at all of the choices it gave us, it only got UXSA one time correctly. And then it actually put other letters below it. And we were using quotation marks. We were spacing the letters out. So I said the best we did is if we could take this and put it in the same color with this one coyote. Okay, that passes as a coyote logo.
Oh, he's
not so much San Antonio. Yeah. Oh, and then we did the margarita one, which at the end we thought that kind of did the best. Except this one was drinking it through its nose. This one was just kind of, oh yeah, this one was drinking it through his nose. He's drinking it through his nose. This was a scary cat coyote. So yeah, it was all over the place. And the weird thing was just, it was throwing in like this was 4 results with the quote UXSA. Never got a U or X or an A in there. It got the coyote, but that was it. And so then we said, well, let's just give us a logo with UXSA. And that's what it gave us, and still messed up. So it's kind of, I think the letter thing, I guess, is what it has issues with.
It is fired as a designer.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice this guy.
It's an intern.
Yeah.
It was fun though. We were doing it in the lab.
Awesome.
Very fast.
Perfect. And where is this one from? The design ideas and features. Who did that? Nobody? It just came by itself?
Which one?
Come up with design ideas. That's their prompt.
That's me.
It's Ruby.
Oh.
I didn't understand the instructions, and we did all the prompts.
Oh, okay.
Overachiever.
Well, at least someone did this one, because I think this one was probably the coolest one, to be honest. Did you want to go over it, Ruby?
I think I wanted to be a little bit more, I don't know, like I wanted to write a different prompt, and just thought maybe, I don't know, just to see if I would get anything different. And that's basically what I got. And I thought there was, some of them were actually interesting. Even Susan thought there was one that was, what was it, Susan?
I'm having trouble remembering where I put them, because I thought I put them on the
Which was
the board, but now I've lost them.
I was like, well, I think UXSA does most of these.
Oh, was it the
Yeah.
UX challenges was interesting too.
Like
UX
regular
challenges.
design challenges.
We ended up asking it what advanced features the community would want from UXSA. That was kind of interesting too.
Perfect. Yeah.
And basically what we saw was it wasn't kind of thinking outside the box. So then we told it to think outside the box, and it was coming back with AI. And here, let me see if I can.
Oh yeah, yours came out with a lot of things, like what was it? Augmented reality and some more things on there.
That's not it.
Well, cool. We're just a little bit over 8 o'clock.